I think it's just when you play against old teammates, like you really just want to win because it's like really this like question of like did the org make the right choice?
This is Zento from Esports Heaven, and I have here with me Licorice from Cloud9, victorious once again, beating Golden Guardians. But you kind of had a rough time, to be honest. So let me just get your thoughts on Golden Guardians kind of focusing you early game.
Well, that game, I don't know. My early lane phase was like really, really good. I was winning lane super hard. And then we like ganked him from behind the tower, and I mean, he should have died, but he didn't. And then it's like fine, we both TP'd back, and then I ended up misplaying because I was down XP because blabber took some like from while he was ganking, and then he got 6 first and chunked me as Rek'Sai dove, and I was like this close to outplaying the tower dive, but it was still like just bad of me to be in that situation. Like I just like misplayed. I was trying too hard to win lane. So then that sucked, and then there was a couple more like really close plays, but they like didn't turn out. I guess there was like one more where I died. So yeah.
So now you're kind of in this new season to where there is primarily a lane swap because of the priority for Rift Herald after Dragon. So what are your thoughts on the new Rift Herald and kind of how it determines a lot of the function of what you're supposed to do as a top laner?
I think it's fine. It like changes some matchups a little bit. Like I don't want to get too specific, but like there's some matchups like if you start winning really hard around like level 7 or like first base, and then all of a sudden people are swapping at that time, it's like not as good a matchup anymore. But for the most part, I don't think it really matters. I think a lot of teams are just playing like away from the top lane because it's like, I mean, I think part of Riot's goal was like, all right, we have top objectives for the top laner, we got bottom objectives for the bot laner, but then it's like bot laners just take the bot objectives, go top, take the top objectives. But usually, I think it ends up with top lane being more of an island, which I really like actually. I think it's a lot of fun.
So now we're seeing games that are lower in kill count, and either that might just be because of the jitters of being on stage for the first time and in quite a while. It's a new season and whatnot. But what are your thoughts on just the game pace overall in general? Because we've seen a focus for priority for dragons, but then we've also seen Rift Heralds drop, twice or 3 times in a game, right? So just what are your thoughts on the speed of the game? Because it seems like it has kind of changed somewhat.
I think that if you are playing well, that the game is actually really fast and fun right now. I really like it. It seems like there's always something to do, always something to play for. And I think that the game stalling out is really just like the shaking off your legs, like getting back to LCS. People are kind of nervous and all that. But I do think that like if a game goes over 30 minutes and you were like winning early, then like something got messed up somewhere in like the middle.
So now to move on to your newish teammate, maybe blabber. So there's been a lot of kind of expectation of blabber to be this hyper aggressive jungler, contrasting with Svenskeren, who was also quite aggressive, but not this kind of unbridled aggression maybe that many think blabber has. So what are your thoughts on just playing with these 2 different style junglers, and also how do you think blabber is gonna shape up now that he's just the primary starter?
I'll start with the last one. I think that not having to compete for your spot and just having like that secure position is just really nice to have as a player. And like I say secure, but I mean like if he really started inching it, like we have like Inori on Academy, and like as a professional player, your position's never like actually secure because like it's like secure as long as you play well. But it's not like if he makes a couple mistakes, he feels like he's going to be subbed out or something. So I think that like for him and for the team, it's really nice to be able to like build around him and have him just like gain more confidence and be like more free to make mistakes basically. So I think that's really good. I would say that the difference between playing with blabber and Dennis is that blabber plays more for himself, and Dennis is more of like a selfless team player. So blabber will like do things that are good for himself, and then he'll orient around that, and then he'll help teammates when it's like good for him and like good in his mind. And then Dennis will he's like more of a guy who's going to sacrifice and like be there if you like really need him. And then, like, Dennis, please come. Like he'll like give up all his camps and like come help you out.
Okay, so you kind of already touched on it there with just having that mindset that there is a possibility that you could be subbed out, but it's at the disaster of your own play. But you've never really had that factor as far as performance-wise. Of course, you had wrist issues last year a little bit, so you took a little bit of a break. But how is that idea coming for you going into this year? Are you concerned that you would ever be subbed out because of wrist issues, or how's that all going for you?
Well, my wrists are doing great. Like my physical health is actually really good right now. It's in a really good spot, so I'm pretty happy about that. So I'm definitely not concerned about being subbed out for something like that. As far as being subbed out for another reason, I'm pretty confident in my own abilities, and I think that well, I think there's two parts. I think the first part is that for me to get worse and not be like a top player in North America, I think that I would have to care less. And I would just like be like focusing my attention on other things. And I think that like the second part is that I think when that happened, I'm not really interested in playing when I don't really care, or like just like playing for a paycheck kind of thing. So I think that like at the end of my career or whatever, I will sub myself out because I'll just like be done because I'll have other things that interest me.
Okay, let's talk about kind of another sub. Your boy Kumo is now on a team, and I believe you guys face him next week, I want to say. Not sure on that.
Not sure either.
But what are your thoughts on playing against him in the future?
I don't know. I think that like because he was the sub under me, it's like one of those games that I like really want to win. I really want to like smash my lane, carry the game. That's like my ideal like dream scenario. But I don't know. I think he's a good player. He's like LCS caliber. Excited to play against him. Be less excited if we lost. I think it's just when you play against old teammates, like you really just want to win because it's like really this like question of like did the org make the right choice? And like you want to show that the org made the right choice, and they want to show that the org made the wrong choice. So just from both sides. Okay,
cool. Well, I hope you do end up smashing them whenever you guys play. This has been Azento from Esports Heaven and Licorice from Cloud9. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.